What's going on, guys? Tobin here with you. Thanks for checking out the channel. Hope you guys can subscribe. I'd appreciate that. And you guys can watch the Tobin and Leroy show, which it'll be quite fun tomorrow. As soon as he walks in that door, Leroy. Although Leroy Horde hates the New York Knicks like I do. So we are much more in unison as this series rolls on. I am very happy for it. I can't wait for it. You guys heard those New York Knicks. You heard them rats of a ship just walking out, and tell me you did not hear those Let's Go Heat chants. They can play that organ as loud as they want, dude. But as soon as Kyle Lowry went to the line, let's go Heat, let's go Heat. We heard it raining down from the rafters, dude. Don't act like it didn't happen. Home court advantage snatched in one game, dude. So I hope you guys can tune in tomorrow to the show as well. But, dude, what a game. What a complete team performance today. Getting this thing done, really the catalyst for it in a lot of ways. Jimmy Butler, still fantastic. We'll get to his injury in just a second, but I think that in that third quarter, we could all look to Kevin Love as the guy who really swung this game. Look, I'm not going to sit here and be a fraud, okay? I've made fun of how much they fawn over that outlet pass a lot. I did it a lot during the Cavaliers. I was like, oh, I get it, Kevin, loving those outlet passes. Wes, here comes, set your watch to the Wes Unseld story. A lot different when he's wearing a Heat jersey. I got to say, nobody can do that pass, dude. That Wes Unseld, Fulker, wow, pass. Oh, and they said Aaron Rodgers was the best quarterback in the building that night. I don't think so, dude. Kevin Love, getting it together. Lead us, Kevin. You'll get the chance from Max Strus today as the two savvy veteran leaders. Kevin Love in the third quarter, Kyle Lowry in the fourth quarter. Taking it home, especially with a hobbled Jimmy Butler. A brilliant performance. Not going to lie. So I'm watching this game from my son's basketball game. So I'm really half-assed paying attention to what's going on. I got the game on my phone between my feet, but I'm really watching my son. He's his basketball game going. And, I got to watch a little bit more when he was taken out on sub. But I was like, oh, it was a bit of a clank fest. I mean, the Heat were just getting up threes. Saw Gabe Vincent shooting a lot. And you're just like, it's very unsettled, very scattered right now. So I get home, I would say like 8 minutes left of the second quarter. And really, it was Gabe Vincent going on a little run ski, gets the game to within 7. New York Knicks call timeout. And this is where I'm coming from because, Knicks got off to a great start, killed the Heat in the paint. Great start for R.J. Barrett, and that's all it was for R.J. Barrett today because he went on a bit of a nosedive after that first quarter. I'm sure he's going to get the brunt of the criticism today. Jalen Brunson in that second quarter, I mean, he hit that floater, could not miss. They were getting in willy-nilly, and so they were fantastic, but, it was a little bit wild. You saw some things that were going New York's way. Like Josh Hart got to basically I got to say something. Can we just say I like Josh Hart as a player. He hustles his ass off. This guy's just throwing his body willy-nilly into everybody, okay? First of all, he nearly hurt Jimmy and on a what should have been a basket for Miami. He's allowed to just fling his body into Jimmy Butler for the loose ball. And everybody's just like, loose ball, that's great, Josh Hart. And, Doris Burke's fawning over it on the broadcast. I'm like, all right, Doris, enough. Listen, it's and I like Doris Burke a lot, listening to her broadcast. But I was like, all right, please. But he's just allowed to like willy-nilly throw his body all over the place. It was very, very frustrating. That being said, Miami closes the first half, only down 5. Bam hits a jumper. They're down 55-50. And they shot 38% for the first half. And so they go to halftime, and Stephen A. Smith, he's like sitting here peacocking. He's like, I told you guys, Miami's not going to be out here willy-nilly shooting the basketball like crazy. And I'm thinking to myself, dude, they shot under 40%, and you're up 5. Like, the Knicks shot 56%, the Heat shot 38%, and you're sitting here like, I told you. It's like, this is the delusion. This is the careful delusion that you're dealing with when it comes to the New York Knicks fan. And they pan to the same people, Spike Lee, Chris Rock, Ben Stiller, The whole lot of them do. Martha Stewart was strangely there. But the Heat culture contingency was that D Wade was there with Gabby Union in the building. The Heat don't lose with D Wade and Gabby in the building. That's not it. I think their record is a bazillion and 0 since D Wade has left in retirement. When the first family of the Heat show up, you're not winning that game. That being said, I'm glad that Spike Lee gets to just drown in it with his ridiculous orange peepers. And he was so mad. I mean, they're just freaking out on all the calls. It was delightful. I mean, it was delightful from a lot of angles. But that's first half. Any Knicks fan who's like feeling like, how did you not feel uneasy immediately when you're like, yeesh, he built a brick house, down 5. And, the funny thing was, like, the biggest update we got during halftime was Mike Wilbon letting us know that Stephen A. Smith remained calm. Dude, I was like, oh, wow, what a breathtaking breakdowns. No wonder you guys are always second place to TNT. Just fascinating. But they come out of the break, and the Heat, they swing it in this third quarter, dude. Biggest gap in the game from the first quarter where Miami ended up down 11. The Heat, they flipped that right on their head after halftime. And Kevin Love was really the catalyst to it all. Gabe Vincent, beautiful pass to K-Love to get him going. But then after Max Strus ties things up 61 apiece, and they go to Zoe. And Zoe's got the fist pump going. Zoe's fired up. I love it, dude. I love having the royalty there in the middle. You got Zoe, you got Pat Riley's there with Chris Riley. They're taking it all in. Like, everybody's up there for this trip. And so, like, there's a big downplay rivalry wise of it because it's like these guys, like Bam said to that, like, what was I, 4 when Heat Knicks happened? I don't recall. But, like, having all of the characters still there from the Heat, it's impossible to ignore the ties there. But Kevin Love hits a 3, but he was really doing it all. He starts getting to these outlet passes, which just, again, money. Hits one to Jimmy Butler for a dunk. Then Jimmy to Bam gets going. Then Jimmy hits a jumper. So the Heat start to extend their lead. Kevin Love then gets a beautiful outlet pass. He puts the Heat up 8. Knicks call a timeout. And it's a beautiful thing. Like, you could just start to feel the uneasiness of the New York Knicks. And, and it's not like it got away from them there, but it swung the game back into Miami's control. Jimmy's starting to get to some of his sweet spots, softening up the defense. And Kevin Love just arrived. And then Kyle Lowry comes in. He hits a big 3 to send it into the fourth quarter. And this is really like he then becomes the next guy to really step up in the need. Like, that was the thing. It's like everybody felt like they did something. Max Strus was hitting big shots. Gabe Vincent was hitting shots. Bam, when he got to his spots, he was hitting some spots. And Bam, like, he still had a couple of those moments where a couple cleaner passes, maybe he has a bigger statistical game. But when they really needed a bucket, he was there to get him one. Caleb Martin, like, dude, Caleb Martin in this fourth quarter comes up with a monster block. Continues to just show, not shy of the moment. Everything the New York Knicks thought that they were going to get into Miami's head, shake them by atmosphere, shake them because it's Madison Square Garden. None of that happened. And instead, what you got was just a complete team effort all the way around and a very competitive back and forth in the fourth quarter for sure. But a couple of things happened here that were of note. One, you had the New York Knicks really starting to double up on Jimmy and get the ball out of his hands. So you're going to need something like this dreaded, vaunted adjustment that Mike Budenholzer wasn't going to do. You saw this from the Knicks. They were really starting to unload it. They were really trying to crank up the pressure on Miami, and Miami was willing to give up the basketball, go into spots, and get things going. But the thing that was really big about this is Miami got into the bonus really early in this fourth quarter. Like, I think there was like 5.5 left. And it was just critical because, New York just started melting down. They started hacking like crazy, sending Miami to the line. But the big thing that happened with about 5 minutes left, I think there was like 5:05 left, Jimmy kind of is it battling with Hart. He kind of dips into him. Hart slides under him and rolls up his ankle. So Jimmy Butler is very clearly hobbled. I mean, he looks in a lot of pain. goes to the free throw line, hits his 2 free throws because he's a dog like that, but he's staying in the game, and he can't do anything. So instead of having that monster on Jalen Brunson, and Jimmy did a really, really nice job on Jalen for the most part when he was allowed to be on him. You need to start throwing some other bodies at it because Jimmy's just kind of off to the side now, and you have him there as a deke. He's literally on offense, just going into the corner, and this is really where Lowry just comes through in such a big, big way. But not before Gabe Vincent just hit probably the biggest dagger shot of the game, where Brunson gets a floater, gets it 97 to 94. Gabe Vincent answers with a big time 3. Probably should have been a 4-point play, and makes it 100 to 94. You start getting some really big defensive plays. First, you have Kyle Lowry, who is able to force a turnover and get a jump ball on Jalen Brunson. The Heat get the recovery on that. Then Caleb Martin comes up with a monster block out of nowhere. Gets to Bam Adebayo. Kyle Lowry gets to him on a spin move. Beautiful left-hander from Bam. Probably his prettiest basket of the game. Puts the Heat up 102-94. Then you start getting offensive fouls from RJ Barrett. He's melting down. Really rough second half for RJ Barrett. And the Heat really just start answering for every mistake that New York makes. And mind you, Jimmy's hurt this whole time that he would answer. Jimmy, they get an offensive foul. Kyle Lowry would answer with a big clutch jumper. It was really, you saw the Heat tighten things up when adversity really hit them or things got close and their stars hurt. Kyle Lowry really led the way. He really did. Fantastic job by Kyle Lowry. Both of the veterans for me get the game ball in this game. Obviously, Jimmy was still fantastic. Not your killer, talking trash Jimmy Butler game. I mean, but still today, this is Jimmy Butler's line. 25 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals. And he was 8 of 16 from the floor, 9 of 11 from the free throw line, and did that without really getting to do anything in the last 5 minutes of this game because he was hobbled. So, and did not rest in the second half, by the way. Jimmy Butler played 43 minutes in this game and was just absolutely money. Just completely money and continues to breathe confidence into everybody there. Not the prettiest shooting game for Miami. They put up 43 pointers, but only hit 13 of them. And, for the Knicks, also not a good shooting team. They were 7 of 34. 4 of them came from Obi Toppin. So, I would say maybe in a desperation game too, you would expect, God, it's got to be a little bit better for New York in there. But Miami is left with a fascinating conundrum here with Jimmy Butler, because you steal home court advantage. You do what you have to do in the first 2. Do that. Then Miami doesn't play again until Saturday, which is game 3 after Saturday afternoon in their building. So Miami is going to be left with a bit of a question. Do they rest Jimmy Butler and just see maybe they can get a game? I, think the Knicks would feel great about the fact that they are able to go have a game without Jimmy. Almost concede a game and then bring it back home, take care of your business, or with what they just saw with the Bucks, who kind of played that game with Miami where Giannis was hurt, but they still kind of chalked up a game and says, we'll be all right if we give up that first game in Miami, and they never recovered. If you beat the Knicks twice on their home floor, that's like jugular. Like, good luck coming back from that, dude. I mean, I don't know what to tell you, Bobo in the Bronx. I really don't. Which, by the way, all the New York fans who are in my chat, in my comments, call my show, you better not be quiet as church mice on Monday. Bring your bluster, dude. Bring your bluster, all of it. Please do. Because Lord knows if you would have won this game, I wouldn't have heard the end of you. So I saw a lot of you scurrying out of the garden. I heard a lot of Let's Go Heat chants. Your poor little organist, the old lady who's there. She had to try and drown out the Heat fans. Very embarrassing for you guys. Big win tonight for the Miami Heat. This afternoon, 108-101. Take a 1-0 series lead in the Eastern Conference semifinals. Great job all around. Full team win. And loved how everybody showed up. Kyle Lowry today, 18 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal. Kyle Lowry had 4 mother bleeping blocks today? Looks like a typo. Sheesh. I tell you what, man. Those cheeks. You know what? Down here in Miami, we always appreciate a good ass. And Kyle Lowry, Did you guys see what Jack Harlow posted, by the way? Jack Harlow, of course, the hip-hop artist, of course, of the famed song Tyler Hero. First of all, Jack Harlow signed Tyler Hero's cast, his pink cast. He signed it, Jack Harlow. But he posted, because Kyle Lowry goes diving into the crowd, and Jack Harlow posted on Instagram, Kyle Lowry just took a fadeaway three and landed in my lap. The rumors are true. His bleep was like a pillow. Incredible. This is the type of basketball analysis you only get here, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, we'll see you guys on Tuesday. Go Heat, and Knicks, go to hell.